Hello, I'm Shihan Matt from Crabapple Martial Arts Academy. In this video, we're going to be going over our basic punches, or sukiwaza. So the very first punch we're going to go over is called a Seiken Zuki, a corkscrew punch. Now, when we throw this punch, we can throw it off of either the lead hand or the rear hand. When we throw it off the lead hand, it's known as a jab in English. So we have 1 foot forward, hand's going to be out, and it's a very quick punch out. Now, the reason it's called a corkscrew punch is because the hand will spiral in as it reaches its target. And the majority of the spiral occurs about the last 2 to 3 inches of the punch. So off of the lead hand, a Seiken Zuki, a corkscrew punch, is known as a jab. Now, the other way we can throw a Seiken Zuki or corkscrew punch is off the rear hand. And a lot of times you'll hear this called either a cross or a reverse punch. Now, when we practice it in a very standardized, formal way, it will start from our trigger point and it will press out with the elbow directly behind it, and then it will spin at the very end of the punch, hitting with the first 2 knuckles of the fist. So once again, it circles at the very end, and that is a reverse punch or cross Seiken Zuki. Now, when we are in a more of a combat ready fighting stance, the hands are here, so here's the jab and then the cross from next to the face. And again, it's still a corkscrew punch because it's spiraling into its target the last couple inches of the punch. Now, the next punch we have is called a vertical punch. Now, a vertical punch only travels about half the distance of a regular corkscrew punch. It's an up-close punch. And since it's done that way, the hand won't rotate all the way over. It'll stop in a vertical impact zone. So it'll be a thumb side up, pinky side down. So it's halfway out. On this punch, the elbow just crosses the plane of the body. Now, in Japanese, this is called a Tate Zuki. Tate Zuki, vertical punch. So from our trigger point, it's going to come out, staying vertical. From the side, it'll look like this. Now, this punch can be to the body, to an arm, and depending on where the head is, could also be thrown to the head. Again, it's not a full range punch, it's a more close range punch, which is why the hand does not rotate all the way over like in a corkscrew punch. And that is Tate Zuki, vertical punch. Now, the next punch we have is called a hook punch or Kage Zuki. Now, I'm going to start from a fighting stance for now, and again, just like our corkscrew punch, it can be thrown off the lead or rear hand. I'm going to show it first off of the lead hand. So my hands are up. I'm going to turn my body, and my punch is going to come straight across. My elbow directly behind my fist. So it's a circular hooking punch. And this is called a Kage Zuki. Now that's off the lead hand. Off the rear hand, I'm going to turn the lead, turn through the hips and the shoulder, and come across. Straight across. The elbow is always behind the fist. I'm never going to let the fist out in front or inside of the elbow. It's always in a straight line from fist to elbow at the point of impact. And that is Kage Zuki, hook punch. Now, our next punch is called an uppercut or a Ura Zuki. Now, in our basic class, a lot of times we talk about a leopard fist uppercut. And that's the combination of both an uppercut and a leopard fist hand position. But for all intents and purposes, an uppercut, Ura Zuki, starts from the trigger point and it moves up at a 45-degree angle into the body or under the chin of our target. So it's coming up. One thing you don't want to do is bring it straight up, because then you also run the risk of re-angling it towards yourself and punching yourself in the face, which as an instructor is always quite comical for us. Now, the final punch we're going to go over is called a leopard fist strike or a Hiraken Zuki. Now, in class, we throw this as an uppercut with this hand position. The way this works, the fingers are bent at the second knuckle, and that striking surface is in a straight line through the back of the hand, through the wrist. So that way when you impact, the hand doesn't collapse and you don't break a finger. So as we do it as an uppercut, just like in Ippon number 3, it comes up from the trigger point at a 45-degree angle. Now this is Hiraken Zuki. Hiraken Zuki, leopard fist punch. Now those are all of our basic strikes that we do in our basic class. So we started with a Seiken Zuki, a corkscrew punch. Then we spoke about Tate Zuki, vertical punch. Then we went through hook punch, also known as Kage Zuki. And then we discussed Ura Zuki, uppercut. And then the final punch we talked about is Hiraken Zuki, leopard fist, strike or punch. Now once again, I'm Matt from Crabapple Martial Arts, and I'll see you next time.